The DYATLOV Pass Files, the cold truth behind the unsolved mountain mystery. February 1959. Deep in the icy Ural Mountains of the Soviet Union, 9 hikers vanished into the frozen night, leaving behind a mystery that has outlived empires. Their tent ripped open from the inside, their bodies scattered barefoot, frozen in impossible poses. No witnesses, no answers, only silence. What force could drive 9 experienced hikers to flee into a storm that promised only death? Tonight, we open the DYATLOV Pass Files and listen to what the cold still remembers. The DYATLOV Pass incident remains one of the strangest and most enduring mysteries in modern history. Over 6 decades later, scientists, soldiers, and skeptics still debate what happened on that mountain. Some claim an avalanche. Others whisper of secret weapons and experiments gone wrong. But before we chase the unknown, we must first know the known. The 9 souls who walked willingly into the jaws of the unknown. Igor Dyatlov, 23. Brilliant engineer. The leader. Zinaida Kalmogorova, the spirit of the team. Fearless, warm-hearted. Rustam Slobodin, the athlete. Always first to face a challenge. Lyudmila Dubinina. Outspoken, determined, tough as steel. 9 young dreamers. 9 minds full of promise. On January 25, 1959, they boarded a train from Sverdlovsk, heading toward the icy peaks of Mount Otorten. In their journals, they wrote of jokes, songs, and endless laughter. None of them knew that these pages would become evidence, not memories. As they climbed higher, the mountain turned against them. Wind howled. Snow blinded their eyes. The compass needles began to tremble, erratic, confused. Still, Igor Dyatlov insisted they camp on the slope that night. The locals had another name for it, Kholat Syakhl, the mountain of the dead. Inside their tent, they laughed, shared stories, snapped photographs, moments of warmth in a world of ice. But sometime after midnight, the laughter stopped. The wind grew louder, wilder, until something else tore through the night. We may never know what. What we do know is that 9 people ripped through their tent from the inside and ran barefoot into minus 30 degrees Celsius cold. Weeks later, rescue teams reached the site. Their tent, half buried, slashed open from within. Footprints trailed into the forest, steady, human, and calm, before vanishing. Beneath a cedar tree, 2 bodies lay beside the remains of a small fire. Barefoot, branches above them were broken, as if someone had climbed in terror or in search of something. Their hands were burned, their faces strangely calm. 100 meters away, 3 more were found, crawling toward the tent. Searchers knew the remaining 4 were still out there, buried deeper beneath the snow. And what they would find next would defy every explanation. If you were in that tent, would you have stayed or run? What theory makes the most sense to you? Avalanche, experiment, or something unearthly? Why were their eyes missing? Why were they calm, not terrified?
By early March, the mountain swallowed more than footprints. It swallowed answers. Reinforcements arrived. Soldiers, geologists, even radiation specialists. Why radiation? No one could say for sure. But whispers spread that this wasn't just a hiking tragedy, it was something darker. On March 5th, they found the remaining 4. But what they discovered would shake the searchers to their core. Buried beneath 4 meters of snow, the last 4 hikers lay in a ravine. One had a crushed skull, another shattered ribs. Yet there were no external wounds. No signs of struggle. Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her eyes. The medical report read, death by massive internal trauma, comparable to a car crash. But what car crash happens on an empty mountain? The official theory? An avalanche. But the evidence didn't fit. The slope was too shallow, the injuries too bizarre. Then came the second theory, a military experiment gone wrong. Locals had reported glowing orange spheres in the sky on the night of the tragedy. Were the hikers witnesses to something they weren't meant to see? Or victims of nature's perfect storm? In their recovered camera, one photo stood out, a blurred image of glowing lights above the trees. Investigators labeled it inconclusive. Some called it proof. Others, coincidence. Their clothing showed radiation traces, yet none of them worked near radioactive materials. The case files were marked top secret. For 30 years, the truth remained sealed behind Soviet walls. Why were they barefoot in the snow? Why did they tear open their tent from the inside? Why were some of them running back toward it? Theories tried to fill the silence. Radiation, infrasound panic, Yetis, even extraterrestrials. But none could explain the calm expressions on their faces, or the feeling that they were escaping something unseen. By May 1959, the Soviet government closed the investigation. The conclusion: a compelling natural force. A phrase that meant nothing and explained even less. Families demanded truth. They were told to stop asking. The site was sealed. The mountain renamed. But truth, like the wind, always finds cracks to whisper through. Decades later, the DYATLOV Pass still calls to the curious, scientists, journalists, truth seekers. Each year, new theories rise and fall. Each year, the mountain keeps its silence. But the cold remembers, and the truth still waits. If you found those photos, would you show them to the world or hide them forever? What's your theory, avalanche or cover-up? Should this case be reopened today? Do you think all 9 died the same night?